Good evening. Tonight's meeting is on a simple matter, that is referring the impeachment resolution noticed by Representative Boebert to the Committee on Homeland Security, and in addition, the Committee on the Judiciary. I know that many members on both sides of the aisle have differing opinions on Mrs. Boebert's resolution, which is, of course, their right. At the same time, Speaker McCarthy and House Republicans are committed to fulfilling regular order and undertaking investigations prior to taking up the serious constitutional duty of impeachment. It is with that spirit that we are meeting tonight to ensure that the Committee on Homeland Security and the Committee on the Judiciary both undertake the appropriate investigations alleged by Representative Boebert in their resolution. Thank you. Yield to my friend, the distinguished ranking member.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I guess I want to begin by asking, what the hell are we doing right now? The former President of the United States had nuclear secrets in his bathroom. He was showing people highly classified Iran attack plans. He's on tape as saying as much. He just got a trial date on dozens of felony counts. I mean, there's your real national security risk. And that's not me talking, that's a grand jury in Florida, of all places. Half of the former president's staff and closest advisors are bashing him on a daily basis because the evidence is so overwhelming. His campaign manager, deputy campaign manager, national security advisor, accountant, all are convicted felons. He is a sexual abuser. But we are here bashing a president who brought dignity back to the Oval Office. And let's briefly talk about this absurd impeachment resolution. Here are just a couple of highlights. It claims the president is intentionally facilitating, and I quote, a complete and total invasion of the southern border, end quote. It claims that foreign cartels have complete control of our border. This is insulting to the Border Patrol agents that you claim to support, who put their lives on the line every single day on behalf of the people of this country. Get real. This is not serious. This was not written by serious people. This is about one thing and one thing only, distraction. You want to distract from Trump's 37 felony counts. You don't like the fact that he was impeached twice. You don't like the fact that he will go down as the worst president in American history. You don't like that he's been indicted more times than he's been elected. You don't like the fact that he was caught trying to extort President Zelensky, who is now trying to defend himself from Putin. And you don't like that he was held accountable for trying to overthrow the U.S. government. And you don't like yourselves for having to stand by him time after time and defend his lies. I've heard from many of you in private. I've heard from many of you in private what you're not willing to say here in public, which is that you think this is an embarrassment. You can try to impeach Joe Biden all you want, but all you are doing is impeaching yourselves. And you're making a mockery of this process and this institution by calling this meeting. And I just, I can't believe we're here, but anyway, we're here. Let's get it over with. I yield back.
Thank you. The chair will be in receipt of a motion from the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Roy.
Mr. Chairman, I move the committee grant a rule that hereby re-refers House Resolution 503 to the Committee on Homeland Security in addition to the Committee on the Judiciary.
Thank you very much. You've now heard the motion. Is there any discussion or amendment to the rule? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to the motion, the question of the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
As for a roll call.
Roll call's been requested. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Burgess.
Burgess votes aye.
Mr. Burgess, aye. Mr. Rushenthaler. Mr. Rushenthaler, aye. Mrs. Fishbach.
Aye.
Mrs. Fishbach, aye. Mr. Massey. Aye. Mr. Massey, aye. Mr. Norman. Mr. Norman, aye. Mr. Roy.
Aye.
Mr. Roy, aye. Mrs. Houchin. Aye. Mrs. Houchin, aye. Mr. Langworthy.
Aye.
Mr. Langworthy, aye. Mr. McGovern.
No.
Mr. McGovern, no. Ms. Scanlon. Sorry, no. Ms. Scanlon, no. Mr. Neguse. Ms. Ledger Fernandez. No. Ms. Ledger Fernandez, no. Mr. Chairman.
No. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, aye.
Clerk will report the tally.
Nine yeas, 3 nays.
Motion having been agreed to, Mr. Roy will manage for the majority.
And I'll manage for the minority.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you at such short notice being here. We are adjourned.
Well, you know, basically a pro at this point.